These are some of the best portfolio examples out there right now that you can use for inspiration for your own portfolio. Now, some of these I know are built in Webflow, but I'm not sure if all of them are. Just a quick explainer there. I know that I'm kind of portfolio Webflow directed in this channel, but some of these might not be Webflow. So before we dive into the first portfolio here, you're going to want to stick around for the last one because it's honestly one of the best I've ever seen. Now let's get into it. First one here is joshwarner.design. Now Josh is an independent designer based in Redding, California, and some of the things that stick out to me on his portfolio is a couple of things. So first off, he has a few selected works that he wants to talk about, that he wants to explain and showcase, and those are kind of promoted the first thing that you see on the website, right? Apart from who he is and a little bit about what he does, the next thing is the best projects or the best portfolio pieces that he wants to showcase. Now, something that I found really cool is these tags here on the left side that actually explain a little bit about what he did in that project. So art direction, graphic design, digital design, and then custom type. And then in the middle, there's a section here that explains a little bit about what the project was actually about. So art direction for Bethel Music Center, blah, 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 blah. Right, cool. And then a quick link to go to the actual site, the one where he actually worked on. But when you click on it, it has something that a lot of you may know that I actually really enjoy in portfolios. It's actually explaining a little bit more about what you did in the project, whether it's just with more images or more text or whatever it is. You actually showcase more about the project that you did instead of just one simple image. And in this case, there's a few images here. There's maybe some, like you see some Instagram stories here of in situ examples. But again, it's just explaining more. It's just showcasing more of the project. So people might actually fall in love with the project that you did if you showcase a few more images. So we've got some more images here, and it's a pretty simple portfolio, but the typography and the different types of images elevate it to a new level, in my opinion. Next up, we've got Navarro.co, and this is a Spanish graphic designer that actually has amazing work. So he's currently working at Twitter. As you can see, his work is quite elevated. But one of the cool things that I like about his portfolio is the use of this kind of parallax scroll on top of one another. Now, this is easy enough to use or to actually create in Webflow using just fixed sections. But one of the things that stick out to me in this portfolio is actually the hero section here. So usually in their hero sections, people have images of themselves, images of what they're doing, their projects, things like that. They kind of dive right into it. But with this one, he kind of slows down a little bit. You know, he says, this is what I do, this is who I am, this is where I'm working. But if you want to know a little bit more about me, you're going to have to scroll. And when you scroll, you kind of get this experience that shows you the skill of this person, right? So your standard text here, but then when you scroll, you've got the Navarro that goes back into the distance, and you have his name here that highlights a bit about his work. So then you scroll down and then you see more about his work, who he is, a little bit about him. But the first thing that you experience is the animation that he wants you to go through, which is really cool in my opinion. So next up here, we have Kirsch Berg, New Zealand. And as you can see here, we have the load state that goes from 0 to 100 on the top left corner. I've seen a lot of people do load states for the portfolios, but that one was pretty interesting. As you first go onto it, you have almost like a platform type of design, right? It's almost like a dashboard. You have last updated, you have the temperature of where he's at right now. He's currently in New York, the time, the weather, right? I mean, I'm sure this is a simple integration, but just to add this to your portfolio adds some sort of personal touch to it that I don't even know if it's good or not, but I mean, it's there and I find it really interesting. So one of the really unique pieces about this portfolio is going to be the part of the work or the archive. So if I go ahead and scroll down, you'll see exactly what I mean. So when I scroll down, it automatically takes me to the work tab in his portfolio. But when you actually scroll through it, something really interesting happens. Yes, you have these projects and you can go ahead and click through them. But if I try to scroll back up, it won't let you, right? The part where we were just at with recent work just disappears. And now you're only focused directly on the work and nothing to do with the text, nothing to do about who he is, nothing to do about where he's at, the weather, whatever. It's only about the projects. And then you can actually go ahead and click onto one of these projects like Unfold, and you get this incredible experience. I mean, it's like a chef adding the final touches on top, you know? Having this scroll animation just complete the entire project. It brings you deeper into what the person's trying to show you. It brings you deeper into the actual examples that he's trying to showcase here. Like for example, the work that we're showcasing right now, right? Having these final touches here almost brings you much deeper. And for me, that's something that really just stuck out to me with this project and this portfolio in general. So next up, we have the archive here, and it's the same exact deal. But another cool thing about this is that if you scroll sideways or up and down, it's almost like an infinite grid. And I know Timothy Ricks just made a clonable about this, so I'll leave it in the description for you guys. But this is incredibly well done. And to have it be someone's portfolio, it ticks all the right boxes for me. Next up is Olivier.de. I'm sure I butchered that, but that's all right. So the reason why I really like this portfolio is for a few reasons. Now, it seems like a very simple portfolio, right? Like text on the left, image on the right. It's almost like how I have my portfolio. But the cool thing about this is how minimal it is. So we have almost like a CV type of design here, and his resume is here on the right side, and you can read the full resume here as a download. But one of the cool things about this portfolio is how easy it would be to actually build this. So this could be easily buildable with something like Reloom, with something like Flowbase, with just even the simple layouts in Webflow themselves. This is one of those portfolios where the layout is extremely simple, but using the correct typography, using the correct images, almost just brings it to the next level, which is, in my opinion, amazing. Last one here, one of the best that I've ever seen is I can't even pronounce this, but SteffieDeLeeuw.com. So this right off the bat, you're gonna think, why is this so amazing? Why is this so cool? Yes, there's a cool design on it, a graphic on it, but why is this so great? Well, two reasons. Number one, the graphic itself it's something that not a lot of people have, which I find pretty cool. And second of all, if you actually scroll through this, there's an incredible, I'm not even gonna call it a parallax, it's just a Z index, but adding that small touch to it honestly just brings us to the stratosphere. I mean, I can't even explain how great this is when you first get on it, and it's unexpected. If I just reload this, you'll see the second section here as well. It has this phase up animation, which I find amazing. And part of that is just, again, it's just the experience, right? It's everybody could have had just a piece of text about who they are, where they've worked, where they're from, all of that. But adding, number one, the typography here is different. Number two, adding that animation, again, adds it to a different level. If I want to, I can read more. I'm not being forced all this portfolio down my throat, right? And as I scroll along more, I see that there's other things in this portfolio instead of just their projects. I can also shop for their products. I can also shop for the wallpapers. I can see part of their portfolio as it stands. I see that this person also does murals. I see that this person does art. I see all these different things that this person is doing, and part of that is in their portfolio, and part of it is as a shop, which is something that we're going to go into the next episode of this mini series, so stick around for that. So if you guys enjoy this kind of video, let me know down below, and also subscribe, like, do all those things, because it does help out the channel in the long run. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.